Hi crafters and welcome. So today is Sunday, January 18th, and I'm going to show you today a little bit about two-tone cardstock. Now, I can find 2 packages of it. I know I have more. I'm going to use the same excuse I always use when I rearranged my office slash craft room over my Christmas holiday. Things got moved and I'll find stuff eventually. But for now, I did find my packages of Peach Pie two-tone cardstock and Petunia Pop. Alright, so the thing about two-tone cardstock, maybe the reason I don't have a lot of this is because I don't buy the scrapbook kits from Stampin' Up! Where you might get an assortment of this. And I do have some kits around that I bought when it first came out, but can I find it now? Right now? No. Alright, so two-tone cardstock. It's not, I mean, it's thicker than copier paper, it's thicker than designer series paper, but it's not as thick as cardstock. And maybe that's why I don't use it all the time, and maybe I should start to use it more, but I don't. I like my true cardstock. This is great for layering when you don't want to have that heavy second layer. Excuse me. That's a full piece of, cardstock. Sorry, I tried to get as far away from the microphone as possible, but I don't know if that worked. So as you can see here, this is Petunia Pop. One side, and I'm not holding it right in the light. I'll hold it down here. You'll still be able to see it. So here's one side, and here's the second side. You can see there's definitely a difference. And some of the colors are a little more out there than others. Sorry. Another cold, snowy-ish day here in Chicagoland, and the sinuses are going crazy. And I was fine, half hour up to this video, but of course you get on camera and it's going to happen. Kind of like your dog doesn't bark all day. I don't have a dog anymore, but your dog doesn't bark all day, but the phone rings and then the dog starts barking. All right, anyway, so how is this different than our cardstock? Let me grab a little piece. Our normal cardstock is core color, or color through, which means when you rip our cardstock, it is the same color through and through. It is not cardstock that is created on top of a white base. It's all the way through. With our two-tone cardstock, it is a white base. I know sometimes people will say, well, I have a white base on my cardstock. It may be from another company. It may be from a big box craft store. But Stampin' Up! Cardstock, the true cardstock, is solid color all the way through. Our two-tone cardstock is not. And so it brings up some good opportunities. I'm going to show you 3. Okay, so let me cut off a little piece of this. I'm going to cut, let's say 4 inches by, let's go, sorry about that. Let's go 6 3/4. How about that? And then we will score at 5 1/4. So, as you can see here, if you want to do a fun fold, you will automatically get that second look. See how there's that? So I cut this down so that it could layer on a card base. Let me show you. Here's a basic white. And see, so here we now could have the potential of looking like we used two different pieces of cardstock, but we didn't. So that's always fun. So it's great for fun folds. Another thing that it's good for, take this piece that's left out here, and let me go ahead and how long is this? This is the 5 1/4. So 2 3/4 is half of that. All right. Well, no, it wasn't 2 3/4. Anyway, 2 3/4 would have been for 5 1/2. All right. When you go to tear this, because the two-tone cardstock is a white core base, you're going to get, let me bring that up. You're going to get that white edge. So depending on if you want it to be your dark color, your light color, when you rip it, it's going to have a white edge, which also is fun when you're layering. So let's go back to this original one where I'm going to have this. Now I'm showing without a lot of extra bulk, because it is the two-tone cardstock, which isn't as thick as the original cardstock. I would say if the Stampin' Up! Basic White is 85 pound, I would say that this is like 70 pound. Or if our base is 100, which I don't think it is, it doesn't feel like 100, this would be 80. So that's what I'm saying. It has good substance to it, more so than DSP. Let me get you a piece of DSP. Where DSP is really thin, it's designer series weight. This is a little thicker than that, and you can feel it. So you do have the ability to layer with it and not make your card so bulky. So right there, without a lot of bulk, I have many different looks. Okay, so that's two things you can do with the two-tone cardstock. Let's take this piece right here and let me go ahead and crinkle it up a little. Now let me smooth it out. All right, and now do I have one here? Looking. No. Hang on one second. Let me go around to my work desk. I have to come around here. Sorry. I thought I had one on my desk, on my craft counter, but I don't. So here, I went ahead and I crinkled that up. You can now take your sanding tool and weather your two-tone cardstock. So there's, ooh, my light's a little bright again. Let me see if I can get it to focus more with this. Let me see if I put this back, if I put this up more. Does that show a little bit better? Not so direct with light, but you see how those veins are coming out. Which leads me to think, oh, I wonder if this will work. All right, let me grab one of my embossing folders. All right, this one is, I think it's on the Last Chance look. This is from the glass and whatever. I can't think what it's called. Once they get retired or on Last Chance, I don't use them very often. All right, let's see if this is going to work. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to run it through, I'm going to go over to my other lower work counter and run this through my Stamp and Emboss machine. So hang on one second while I go over here. Just going to run it through real quick. Oh, hang on, I forgot to take out my adapter plate. All right. Coming back over. So now I've run this through my embossing folder. And now again, you take this, your little sanding block, and you run it over that embossing. Now this will not work with the regular piece of cardstock from Stampin' Up. Now some of the cardstocks out there, like I said, at the big box stores or from other companies, if their mainline cardstock is white core base, you could do this with their cardstock, but you can't with Stampin' Up because it's that color all the way through. So here we ran that through the embossing folder and then went ahead and ran this over, ran this nail file over. All right, so let's take the pieces that we just worked with. So here we have, you know what, let me cut this down because this is actually the card base. So let me cut this down. Maybe I have a piece over here at the side. Or I'm just going to cut this as a panel. So this will be 5 1/2. This will be 4 1/4. So this is a panel card. So it's not a typical open and fold A2 card. It's just an A2 panel. But let's put this on there. Let me grab out my tape. Oh, I didn't get very close to the edge. Hopefully it'll stick down okay. I'll put another little piece there. Alright, so here's my A2 panel. Very sticky. We're going to make sure it looks kind of even all the way around. Press that down. So that's just my folded card base. Here comes my torn piece. So let's go ahead, you know what, I might use glue on this one. Just so I have that jagged edge. And I want to get it pretty close to that edge. All right. Got out my tweezers. So I'm putting this right on the edge there, so it's lined up. Speed up just a little bit. Go. All right. So now we have that torn look. Let's go ahead and we'll should have embossed it the other way. Let's go ahead and put this down just like that. Maybe if I put that white edge, that gives it a little more separation. All right, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal on this. Usually when I've embossed something, especially cardstock, I'm afraid we're going to break down the fibers. Oh, I didn't want to do it all the way. Oh, darn it. Because now it's going to stick over here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's put that to cover up that, because I didn't want that to be sticky all the way over. So we'll go ahead, we'll put that there. Let's trim it down. Do I have, oh, I don't have, ooh, I don't have snips with me right here. Go ahead and do that. And let me put this down here, but I'm not pushing down on both sides. I'm getting it angled because now I'm going to take my embossing buddy. I'm just going to lightly go over where I put down that tape. That way it's not sticky anymore. And it won't stick to my card. That I wasn't thinking. Was not thinking. Let me get that off of there. All right. Now I have it all over my hands. Let me take one of my chamois. All right, so that's not sticky now. All right, so just for the sake of showing you our 3 different styles that we did here. So there is our folded card to show both sides of the two-tone cardstock. There is our ripped edge. It's going to show that white core coming through. Here's our embossed that we sanded so that the white, again, from that core comes through. And then inside here, which I didn't mean to do, but here's that crinkle paper that we sanded down to give it like that aged look. So there you are, guys. There are 3 different ways to use your two-tone cardstock from Stampin' Up. Thanks for watching. Have a great Sunday. Go Bears. I don't think they have a chance, but I've been saying that all season, so we'll see. But have a great Sunday. Give me that thumbs up if you don't mind. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have a friend who wants to learn simple techniques or simple card making, go ahead and share this with them so they can sign up too, because I really try to appeal to the beginning to intermediate type stamper. I'm not appealing to the expert stamper at all, even though these techniques can be ramped up to an expert type level, but I like to keep things a little more simplistic when I stamp. All right, so thanks, guys. Have a great Sunday, like I said. Take care. Bye for now.